Hello and welcome to Spotlight on East Fishkill. I'm Councilman Nick D'Alessandro and this is Councilman Tom Franco, and we'll be your host for this show every month. Spotlight is a show brought to you by the town of East Fishkill, and we feature 2 local businesses or other public venues every month.
And today our first stop is LeChambord, located on 2737 Route 52. Come on in and let's see what they got.
Let's go in. Well, here we are on the terrace at LeChambord with the owner, Roy Bennett. Roy, how are you?
My pleasure. Nice to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me on this special occasion for the town of East Fishkill. It's a great thing that you guys are doing to publicize all the local businesses.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Roy. You got some business and beautiful buildings here. How did you get started?
I was a little insane. I had a broker begging me to come see this property, and I kept telling her no, but to get her off my back, I decided to see it. And as we pulled into the parking lot, I said, "Is this the place?" She said, "Yes." I said, "I'll buy it." And this was actually a private home, and at one time a chicken farm. They used to raise eggs. So there was only here this main house and about 4 large chicken barns in the back, which of course we tore everything down. And now we have 7 buildings. I built 6 more in addition to the one that I have here.
Wow.
So it was a long process, but it paid off beautifully. We're going into our 30th year. September of 24th of this year will be 30 years that we're here.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's like hitting Powerball in this business. But this is a very, very hard business.
Right. Now, where are you from originally?
I could have some fun and say mommy's tummy, but I won't. I came from Croatia when I was 8 years old, and we lived in Hell's Kitchen in New York, and I pretty much worked most of the time in New York until 35 years ago I came to this area.
And what got you into the hospitality business? Have you always been involved in that?
My father was in the business. He jumped ship when he was young from Yugoslavia then, which is Croatia now. And my uncle owned a bar and grill. And when my father jumped ship, actually, he went to the Army. He volunteered to go to the Army, became a captain, came out, he worked for my uncle in this industry, and then he brought the whole family over from Yugoslavia.
Wow.
And so we opened our own, those days were called a bar and grill, and then we became a supper club with some great entertainment, and I've been in it ever since.
That's a great American story. We love to hear those, especially here in East Fishkill.
Thank you.
Right, and you fell in love with this building as soon as you saw it. So we have the main house here that has the restaurant, and you have rooms upstairs also as an inn?
We have 9 rooms in the main house, and then we have 16 rooms in Tara, the building right behind us.
Wow.
Total of 25.
That's great. And you do lunch and dinner?
We do lunch Monday through Friday, dinner every night, and also Sunday brunch.
Oh, okay. That's great. Wow.
And the holidays also, you do brunches for the big holidays, correct?
For the big brunches in the grand ballroom, we do Easter, Mother's Day, and Thanksgiving. And then New Year's Eve, we have a big New Year's Eve bash every year.
And you do weddings as well?
Weddings, yes. We average about 50 weddings a year.
Wow.
Plus corporate dinners, private parties, anniversaries, and you name it in this industry, we do it.
Wow, and you've been here for so long, that proves that you're a success. That's great to hear.
It's hard work, but if you know what you're doing, and you love what you're doing, it'll work.
Well, I know that you have excellent chefs, and you are above, one of the top restaurants in this area, and we're happy that you're here in our town. And can you tell us a little some more history about this building? Downstairs, I see that there's a little bar down there. What goes on over there?
Well, that's the Marine Lounge, and it's a great place to unwind after work with your sweetheart or somebody from business. It's very relaxing. We're not a sports bar, just a nice intimate place. Have a little bite to eat or just have a cocktail. In the winter it's great with the snow coming down and the fireplace roaring. It's just a very, very pleasant place. In about 2 weeks we're going to come out with our new bistro menu, which is really very nice. So you can have downstairs, you can have something on the terrace, or you can go into the restaurant, have a full meal, or just even an appetizer. Some nights you might not want to have a full meal. You might just want to have a glass of wine and an appetizer, and that's fine also.
So you want to have a little bar food or something downstairs with a beer or a nice cocktail? That's the place to go.
That's it. Nice and warm, very friendly, and it's very pleasant.
Now you say that's in about 2 weeks that's going to start to open up?
2 weeks, the new bistro menu will be out, and we're going to start everything downstairs.
Do you have anything else coming up in the future with LeChambord?
In the future, well, we have cooking classes that you can book. 10 people to 15 people, and it's a private lessons, has some hands-on, and it's wonderful with the chef, and sometimes I get my 2 hands in there. And after the cooking class is over, everybody sits down in the dining room and we have a complete dinner of everything we taught at the class.
Oh, that's nice.
Paired with different wines, and it's really nice. It's nice for a present. Sometimes the brides give it to their maid of honors, their wedding party for a present, and it's really very, very nice.
That's a great idea, actually. Here we are in the kitchen with Executive Chef Leonard Mott. How are you today?
Very good. How are you, sir?
Very good. So, Leonard, how long have you been working here?
This will be my 29th year at LeChambord.
Wow. Congratulations. And where do you have your background from cooking? Where were you trained?
Born and raised in the area in the Hudson Valley, and I attended the Culinary Institute, graduated in 1981.
Wow, that's great. Excellent. So what are you going to be preparing for us there today?
Today we're going to prepare a dish that's currently on our lunch menu. It's going to be a blackened Atlantic salmon over mesclun field greens with papaya mango chutney.
Excellent.
All right,
that's good. All right, chef.
Okay, here we have a nice center cut piece of Atlantic salmon. I'm just going to season it with a little bit of kosher salt. I'm not going to put any pepper on it because the blackening spice which we have here is spicy enough, so we don't need to add any pepper. This is a particular mix that I make here. It has onion powder, garlic powder, chili powder, mustard, dried mustard, cayenne pepper, and black pepper.
But that's the Lenny
But you
mix.
can change it according to how you like it, how spicy you want it, and that. But basically, it's equal proportions except for the pepper. You want to add a little less because you don't want it to be too sharp in the pepper taste. All right, so we have the just a little bit of kosher salt on there. Now we're just going to dip it right in the blackening spice. Put a nice coat on it all around. That's it. So when we put the salmon in the pan, we want to put it face side down first, so that when we flip it, it's the right side up. So when we put it on the plate, so I'm going to put it on the plate that way. So when I go to put it on the pan, it goes in the pan the same way.
Great.
All right, we're going to put it on about medium-high heat and let that get hot. In the meantime, we're going to prepare the rest of the ingredients. So we need to make a mango chutney for the top, soft to the touch, you know. So we're going to peel it. You can use a peeler if you want. I'm going to choose to use a knife right now. Okay, so what we're looking for here is basically a small dice. So we're going to take and cut down the side, dice it up. All right, we're going to just put this in the bowl. Now this salsa here is actually, I'm just going to put his here for now. The salsa is actually better if you make it up 2, 3, 4 hours, even a day ahead of time. This way all the ingredients get to meld together and the sweetness of the mango mixes with all the ingredients and it becomes much better.
So it kind of marinates.
Exactly. A little jalapeno to spice it up a little bit. Now the jalapeno, you want to go pretty fine with it, as fine as you can on the dice.
You know what, Chef? I'm going to bring my wife down here. You can give her a couple of...
Yeah. All right, we're just going to put a little bit of red pepper in there just to give it a little color and flavor too, but just a little bit.
You must like this time of year, Chef. You get some nice local vegetables.
Yes, absolutely. This is a very underappreciated area living in the Hudson Valley because there's so much to offer around here as far as the local farms and the wineries and everything. Yes, just roughly chop it a little bit. Add that in. Okay, now we're going to take a fresh lime, squeeze the juice of 1 fresh lime in there. So we're just going to hit it with a little fresh black pepper and a little kosher salt. Not too much, just a little. It's sweet, but just with a little bit of savory flavor. All right, so for the vinaigrette, basically the vinaigrette is usually 3 parts oil, 1 part vinegar. So in place of the vinegar, we're going to use white wine and lemon juice as the acid in this vinaigrette. So
Can't go wrong with the white wine.
So yeah, that's right. Have a little glass on the side and have a sauce. All right, so we're going to add a little bit of the outside of the lemon, which has great lemon flavor, just the very outside of the zest. Juice of lemon in there, lemon juice.
Light hand your lemon, you make it.
Okay, a little bit of white wine. Gonna add just about a level tablespoon of sugar, pinch of salt, kosher salt, and then here we have some canola oil and olive oil. I'm gonna use a mix of canola oil and olive oil, so it's not too strong on the olive flavor, but so about half and half. Make it a quick vinaigrette. I think we need just a touch more sugar. I think we're all right. All right, so that's a very simple vinaigrette. Now the pan, we're gonna put that back on. We get it hot. So now basically we're gonna sear the salmon. We're gonna sear it on the side, flip it over. Anytime you're cooking any fish, salmon, tuna, or that, most people, depending on how you like it, but it's always better to eat it on the medium rare side, I believe. It tastes much better, it's more moist. So the salmon especially, sometimes tuna, you want to eat it rare, you know, depending on the grade of the tuna. But salmon for sure is better on the medium rare side. So we're basically gonna lightly brown it on one side, flip it over, leave it another minute or two. Just gonna take a little Belgian endive here to garnish around the plate. And we still have this red pepper here. I'm just gonna cut a couple strips for a little color. So
your feet just come out like this.
This is a nice summer dish, nice lunchtime summer dish, because it's cool. You got the salsa, you got the lettuce, and you got the salmon. It's a nice summertime dish. Okay. Okay, maybe this is just a mix of mesclun grains. Coat them nicely with the lettuce, dressing. Okay. Just gonna put that right in the middle like that. Okay. Salmon looks like it's about ready, so yeah, that's what we're looking for there. A light brown, nice brown color, not too dark. We'll leave it another minute on that side. All right, so now we left it in for approximately another minute on that side. We'll transfer it over because we don't want it to stay cooking too hot in that pan to get it too dark on the other side. We're going to transfer it to another pan in the oven about 350 degrees. Like I said, depending on how you like it cooked, but I would say another 3 minutes would be fine. Okay, so I believe the salmon should be ready. It's been in about 3 minutes. So we'll take the salmon out. Yeah, that looks very nice.
Wow, that looks great, Chef.
Okay, so we're gonna
We're gonna be fighting for a fork.
top that right on the greens there nicely.
Oh, I'm bigger than you, Tom.
All right, and then we have our mango salsa. We're gonna mix up again to make sure it's well mixed. And we'll take a nice spoon and spoon it right on top like so.
That looks great.
Wow,
Nice
And there we go. There we go.
Very nice,
Simple,
Chef.
it's fresh, it's nice, and it's good for summer.
Thanks so
There you
much,
go.
Chef.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Take care now.
And Roy, I know you have a beautiful ballroom attached to the restaurant here. Could we maybe go take a look at that?
We sure can. It's a beautiful ballroom. It's 3,500 square feet, and we can do pretty much 240 people there very comfortably for a sit-down dinner.
Wow, why don't we go take a look? So Roy, what a beautiful ballroom this is. How many does it accommodate?
Comfortably up to 240 for a sit-down dinner. Cocktail party, we could do 400.
Wow, that's fantastic. Got
Really,
a nice
really
bar
beautiful.
here in the
Thank you.
corner.
Yeah, that bar is something, Roy. Where could you tell us about that bar?
It's a very famous bar. This is the bar that Judy Garland drank at just before Judy died. The bar itself is over 100 years old. It's all antique brass and copper. Judy and I were quite friendly, and
Look at you.
after Judy passed away, they auctioned off the bar, and I bought it. Judy was a wonderful lady, gave a lot. Everyone took except Liza, because Liza married rich guys. She didn't need anything. But towards the end, it was very, very sad ending. And I have a whole story, which we probably don't have time for it, about the bar. But at the end of her life, for singing in this one bar, her reward at the end of the night was free drinks at this bar. So it's very sad, but
Sentimental.
Wow.
very sentimental, and she was a wonderful lady, and she's still entertaining us. If you look at the Turner broadcasting,
yeah.
and you'll see probably 4 of her movies, 5 every month. So she was just a good friend and just a special lady.
And you have a little piece of history right here,
Yes,
which is great.
yeah. Every time I look at the bar, I see Judy. So,
And
very
I know
nice.
that you're known in the county and beyond that for your wine list.
We have a great wine list. We cover all the countries. We even have one from my home where I was born, Croatia, which is one of the top European wines. It's really excellent. Would rival any Cabernet Sauvignon or Bordeaux from France. Really excellent wines. So we run the whole gamut, a little bit of everything.
And do you have a prized possession in terms of wine, a particular bottle or?
Well, all of those are in my house, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's a safe place
We
for it,
have,
right?
I have some, all the 5 major growths. I have some, all of them. I have the regular bottles, and I have some magnums, and I have a couple of bottles that are 6 magnums. In other words, they're tremendous. The bottles
Wow.
are like this.
Mm.
I save them for very special occasions and very special friends.
So what's the oldest wine you've served?
The oldest one I served and sold here was an 1891 port from Portugal. It was $4,100 a bottle.
Oh, that's it? The ports are
That's
very
all.
good.
It was-
Yeah.
We sell
Do you
a
have
lot
any
of
more?
ports. We don't have any more of that one. Port is very good, and we have educated a lot of people on port wine that never even heard of port. And we have quite a few bottles in our special place outside, and they sell very well. As long as you educate people on port, it will sell.
So I'm sure you get a lot of corporate guys who come in. They like to have a bunch of wines, I'm sure, every now and then, right?
You have a good story on that one?
Well, yes, we do. Just before our friends Bear Stearns went under, we had 11 gentlemen from Bear Stearns come for dinner here. And their wine bill alone was roughly $10,000.
Wow.
2 weeks after that, 9 more people came from Bear Stearns, and their wine bill was over $8,000. We don't get these every day. I wish they didn't go under. I like to see them every week.
Well, maybe they saw the writing on the wall and they decided to hit the wine.
Probably. They took advantage, and they loved every minute of it, and so did I, making out that check.
I'm sure you did.
Good for
And how many different wines do you have?
Right now, we have about 250.
Wow.
Very good. Now, could you tell us a little bit about some of the other antique pieces of furniture that you have here?
Well, in addition, as a hobby, designing ties, which I'm wearing one of them, my own design, I was also an art and antique dealer. Some of the antiques that you see in this room, you have 2 armoires, 2 sideboards. They're valued roughly $100,000. We have that big,
Very
beautiful
nice.
sideboard you saw in the lobby as you came in. That comes from the Astor Estate out in Long Island. That is valued roughly about $75,000.
Wow.
And all the other pieces we have there are also beautiful antiques, valued altogether from the different pieces, including the magnificent oak wine chest, if you want to call it. It was actually, we call it a refrigerator, but it was called an ice box. The block of ice went in there and kept the food fresh for the family. And the one that I have is only 6 were made that size, and it's tremendous. It's golden oak.
Wow.
It's absolutely beautiful. That alone is valued about $25,000.
Wow.
So there's a lot of magnificent antiques here,
Great
but
history.
it goes well with everything. It gives the place a lot of warmth and personality.
Absolutely, absolutely. So not only are you a restaurateur, but you antique dealer, and you design your own ties.
And great wines.
I have fun. Life is too short. Do everything that you enjoy to the fullest, and you'll be a happy man.
Well, good for you, and we're
Right.
so glad that you're here in East Fishkill.
Thank you.
You've been tremendous for the community.
Thank you very much.
And I know in the back, Roy, you have another building. Tell us about that.
Okay, the next building in back is called Tara. Tara has 16 rooms, and we have 9 in the main house for a total of 25. Hotel rooms are very important in this business. Right after Tara, we have the only outdoor covered pavilion in the Hudson Valley, and the pavilion is where we do the wedding ceremonies and the cocktail parties. And then they come into the grand ballroom for the rest of the party. Right next to that, we have Butler Hall, which is our conference center, which we also use for private parties. And I have another building which I use for special occasions also.
Excellent.
Wow,
So
this is more of
altogether,
a,
we
this is like
have-
a compound.
Yeah, we have
This is great.
7 buildings total.
Excellent.
Very
and I
nice.
know you're always upkeeping on the buildings. It's a lot of work, but you really do a really phenomenal job.
Thank you. Right now, we're in progress of painting every building on the premises. We start with one and continue, and then 2 years later, we do it all over again. You have to have a beautiful place to do business. People like to see beauty, flowers, and everything else, because they don't want to come to a place that's shabby or anything like that.
Well, it shows you care, and it shows that your dedication to this business is long-lasting. I mean, 30 years
30
is a
years.
remarkable
It is.
milestone. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, we call it hitting the Powerball in our industry, because today the life of a new restaurant is 6 months and you're pretty much out, which is very sad, but that's the way this business is.
Well, you're a very
Everybody
good
think-
model. You're a good model for the rest of them.
Thank you very much. We work hard at it.
Thank you, Roy.
My pleasure.
Roy, this was a real pleasure. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having us.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you for coming.
Roy.
Tom, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure
And,
is all
and
mine.
best of luck always, Roy. Continue your great traditions that you have been over the past 30 years.
Thank you very much. We're going to try hard.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here in East Fishkill. Thank, you so
very
much.
much.
Thank you. And next we're going to be going over to see Dr. Corsa and Dr. Wiener. here today with Dr. Chris Corsa. He's an associate at Dr. Wiener. Doctor, how are you today?
Good, yourself?
Very good.
Excellent.
Doc, so how long have you been here?
I've been here for about a little over 3 years.
Wow, and where did you start off?
Well, I work in many different places, but my training started off at Harvard University, finished in 2006, and then finished up at Columbia University at 2009.
Wow, exciting, exciting. And you are the orthodontist here.
I am the orthodontist here. Yes,
So what age groups do you get?
You know, as early as 5 and 6 years old.
Wow.
And I actually have some senior adults in treatment, like there are actually some in late 70s.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
And
it is
how
great.
difficult is it working with the little children? Because I know sometimes, I know as a kid, I was petrified of the dentist. So getting them to stay calm and relaxed as you do
Yes.
your job.
Yes, it's actually quite easy here because we have a very slow-paced boutique environment where there's not 90 other patients going through the door that day, and it's very easy actually to kind of like to get the attention and give the care and the time.
Sort of
that
ease
a
them
little
into
child-
the
we'll-
chair.
We'll just sit them back in the chair for the first visit and do nothing if that's what they need. We'll do whatever it takes to get whatever it is needed done.
I could have used that as a dentist when I was younger.
Right, so mostly a lot of families come to you and you continue with all their children, I bet.
Yeah, all their children. We just had a family leave that the first little girl, like I finished her up, and then the father came in and said, well, here's my second daughter. Make it just like my first daughter, just like that. Her smile is beautiful. And after the second daughter was done, the grandpa came in here with her one day and just said, that's amazing. You do some good stuff with those teeth. And then now the third child just took off.
That's wonderful.
That is, it's
Very,
very good.
very rewarding to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but when
the
you do a good
generations.
job, people always come back, and that's good. That's great to hear.
Very lucky.
Absolutely. So do you like it up here in East Fishkill?
I love it up here. I love it up here. It really, East Fishkill to me means a lot. It means like it's representative of values, at least when I see it in the families. Representative of values that can be a little bit harder to find these days. Like, you know, I trained at Columbia, live down in the city, and everything's fast and it's just nice up here. I love it up here actually. My favorite place to be.
So you commute one day a week up here?
I do commute one day a week up here. Sometimes we have a rotating schedule, but mostly we're here on Thursdays.
That's wonderful.
Well, one thing I noticed when we were taking a little tour of the office is that you're dealing with special needs children. Could you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Again, it is becoming more of a rare form that an orthodontist, it's just one orthodontist and one patient at a time. More typical these days is one orthodontist and 10 patients being seen at a time. And in a big room with multiple chairs in a circle, and it's just like a big pinwheel. That, you could imagine, wouldn't serve like a special needs child so well. So here, when we have one chair, one doctor, one patient at a time, the way orthodontics was maybe 50 years ago, it really does help out a lot. Yeah.
It keeps them at ease, I bet.
Yeah, that's
Keeps them
great to
at
hear.
ease. Things are we have enough time for them. We can save all the time that they need. And there are cleft patients with very craniofacial abnormalities. There are things that it just takes more time, more comfort, and that's what we provide here.
So any specialty that's needed, you provide.
We do. Yeah, Dr. Wiener is here as well, providing everything that's needed for the family, general dentistry, and him and I share the same values. That's why we're a good fit here, good team.
That's good. Now, is there a certain procedure that you perform more often than not, other than, I would assume, cleanings? But are there...
Well, so cleanings and whatnot, that's on his side. We certainly provide that here with a hygienist. For me, I provide all the braces, Invisalign, anything having to do with like the bones of the head and the face. That's my specialty. That's what I'm trained for. So if you have any like crooked teeth, or spacing, or crowding, or like a deep bite, or any type of like a thumb sucking, even bad habits that are causing like malocclusions.
You're the guy.
I'm the guy.
All right.
So how did you get involved with Dr. Wiener? How did you meet him?
You know, very interesting. He has a representative that works in many different offices, like a supplier. Let's say a supplier for all the different products that he needs.
Right.
And I was working at another office in Monroe, and that representative says, "Hey, you're such a nice guy." He got to know me well in that other office, and then when Dr. Moore needed to spend more time in his Greenwich, Connecticut office and his Pleasantville office, they needed to find another orthodontist, and he just thought that I'd be a great fit and called Dr. Wiener up. We kind of met, and we did, values-wise, we're right there.
That's perfect.
Just
Very
small
nice.
town, a lot of care, quality, and just, yeah, I mean, that's kind of hard to find sometimes.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad that you're here in East Fishkill.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and you got some staff here. You guys are
Wow.
top notch. I know Kathy. She's a
Kathy.
wonderful. Hi, Kathy. How are
We're
you?
going to meet some of them, or?
Yeah, yeah.
And here we are with Kathy. Kathy, how are you?
I'm fine.
So, Kathy, how long have you been here?
Oh, too long to mention.
Come on.
So you
A
started.
long time.
Who was the first doctor that you started here with?
I started with Dr. Gross,
Dr. Gross.
and then I went to Dr. Ewer, to Dr. Moore, and now I'm with Dr. Corsa.
Wow. Generations and generations. That's fantastic.
Yes.
And how many children have you seen and
Oh
re-seen?
God, I wouldn't even count, but right now I'm treating children of the children that I treated.
That's great.
That's wonderful.
That's good for business.
I know that they say without you, this place doesn't run.
Well, we have a staff that doesn't change very rapidly. People who are here for a long time. And we all get along together. It's like one big happy family, actually.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. And I'm sure Dr. Wiener, he absolutely loves you.
Yeah.
I hope so.
In terms of insurance that you guys take, how does that work?
Well, we work with all insurances. We don't, we're not in contract with any, but we
But
do
you take
work
all,
with
you work
all
with
of
all
them.
of them. That's
Yes.
great.
That's great.
Yeah,
So
so-
you work out the best needs for every family.
Right, exactly. And of course, orthodontics is a expensive proposition, so
Oh, yeah.
there are contracts and, the way that it works, things are not upfront money, it's spread out over a long period of time.
Oh, that's good.
The
Makes it
course of
easier for
treatment
everyone.
anyway, the course of treatment. I shouldn't say a whole lot longer.
So everybody could get it, right?
Right, yes,
That's important.
yeah. So I've enjoyed it. I'm still here after,
Yeah.
we won't say how many years.
Blah,
good for
blah
you.
years.
Yeah. Well, good for you. We're glad you're
Yeah,
here
yeah.
too.
Yeah, thank you,
You're
Kathy.
welcome. Right, bye-bye now.
And now why don't we go take a look at one of the treatment rooms? Here we are in one of the treatment rooms. Why don't we take a look at what's going on here, Doc? Doc, tell us what goes on here in one of these rooms and what kind of technology you got over here.
Yeah, so we do orthodontics here as well as general dentistry, but here's an example of some of the technology that we use here. High tech, we bring high tech technology in here. This is an Invisalign ClinCheck. So basically, what this is this person's teeth. This is the way they're starting, and with clear aligners, they can actually, and so this is without braces. Through a sequence of changing of trays, they can get their teeth straight.
Oh, so no braces.
No braces. Getting
Wow.
your teeth straight with no braces.
That's amazing.
No braces. This patient, it finished beautifully.
So certain patients can do this or anybody can do this?
You know what? Certain patients can do this. And what's really interesting about me and what we offer here is actually I've done thousands and thousands of cases of this down in the city where I've lived. I've worked in one of the highest producing like Invisalign practices in like all of North America down there. So I've been able to build quite amount of an experience in this particular technology. You can imagine adults in the city don't want to deal with braces. So I've been able to gather quite a bit of an experience and working with this technology and these tools and really getting creative to make things happen for adults that just do not want braces.
So sure, somebody who's a professional who maybe is in front of cameras or whatnot, they don't want to be have the braces.
Oh goodness, yeah. We have celebrities down there. It's really interesting. Sometimes I've walked into treatment rooms down there. You're exactly right. Walked into treatment rooms, look at the TV, look at the patient, and then, oh, that's weird. That's you.
You get to meet a lot of people.
Oh, a lot of
Tom's
people.
our local
Yeah,
celebrity.
I think
rock
so.
star. Yeah, very good. Very
So
good.
what do you got over here?
Well, here's an example of some technology that we have in the office, not in the form of computers, but things that were actually created for the spaceship.
Wow.
This is nitinol wire created for the material was created for the spaceship. You can only imagine that braces can hurt. Like when your parents or our parents have had braces in the past, there'd be like a lot of tightening. The only materials that they had were stamped stainless steel wires, but it's different now. Again, technology is not only a form of computers. Someone can have very, very, very crooked teeth. This wire can go any which way to follow your malaligned teeth, and it's always going to want to go back to like its perfect straight arch form.
That's
and
amazing.
you can tell it's really not it's really not stiff at all. You could imagine that being very gentle to someone if they do have braces, as opposed to like a lot of like tightening. And
I remember it.
bands
Thanks for
around.
bringing back those memories.
Yes.
So it's
absolutely.
a little more friendly.
Much more. Yeah, technology has really changed the profession quite a bit for the better.
That's
That
wonderful.
is, that's great.
Wow, great. Thanks for showing us. And I love these comfy chairs. I remember sitting in one of these things. Well, we won't do that right now.
Very good. Very good.
Well, Doctor, thanks for having us today. And for everybody, Dr. Michael Wiener and Dr. Chris Corsa, they're located on Route 376 in Hopewell Junction, right across from Gayhead Elementary School.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Doc.
All right.
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Doctor.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
appreciate it. And remember, whenever you can, to shop local and stay local. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.